This is an old ass PC, bro. This is the tweet. This is what I woke up to. Sakurai explaining the origins of Smash Bros. Brilliantly puts into words why I was never able to gel with conventional fighting games. Let's talk about combos. Combos. And this word triggers everybody. There's no other word I could use but trigger. It triggers me, it triggers new people, it triggers boomers, it triggers everybody. When you see the word combo, people have something to say about combos, right? To be honest, I didn't think there was any push and pull there. As more fighting games became combo focused, the less room there was for strategy. I wondered if we could make a game with room for interplay and improvisation. So again, I'm such a mixed person. Video games are supposed to be fun, right? Video games are supposed to be fun. I think this is a good example of how I'm not a fucking Guilty Gear gamer. Like, if someone told me this, I think it's cap, but I would let them have it. But I would want them to reword it and be like, they don't want to do it. Like, because in the comments here, for example, so true, I can't stand fighting games because learning the combos isn't even fun. You have to invest so much time into it. Like, I'd rather get a job where I could at least get paid for my misery, right? Like, it's literally like, you don't feel like learning the stuff that it takes to play the games, because you have to, like, it's like learning like a hard board game or something. Like, you have to learn how to play the game. Like, most one-player games, you can beat one-player games not really knowing how to play the game. I played Xenoblade 2, right? I love Xenoblade 2. Xenoblade 2, my boy Rex, that's my boy, right? But I definitely played like 80% of the game without actually knowing how to play the game. Like, knowing like the basics, but not knowing how to actually like abuse the game and like do like the good stuff in the game to like do a lot of damage and all that stuff. But you can get far/beat one-player games like that, where in a multiplayer game, you, especially because there's online now, you would not have this problem in the past, like in the 90s where Sakurai is talking about. In the 90s, if you're playing at home with your friends, you're chilling, right? The only issue would be if you went to an arcade where people knew how to play. That's like the only issue. But now there's online. So you could hop online, just hop on rank. There are gonna be people who know how to play. Even if we don't consider them good in the scope of the competitive curve or whatever, right? They're still going to be better than you. And they're still gonna meme you, right? Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It is fun.
何しろ駆け引きは最大に発揮されるジャンルでしたし、最初のヒットからうまく攻撃をつなげられるかという遊びの中には対戦相手のテクニックの介在というのはありません。
Do you know how much better he is than so many people who actually play fighting games like all the time? Because remember, one of the biggest complaints I have about newer fighting games is you can combo off too much stuff. Because when people talk about player expression stuff, what they usually mean, and I know people get mad that I'm like, I think this is what they actually mean, because people don't actually say what they mean. They either want like many tools, or they want the opportunity to make more choices. One common theme in Guilty Gear, the games that we play, even Strive has this, but it doesn't have this as much of an extent of older games, and it's usually the classic characters that have this. Usually the reason why you are making so many choices in Guilty Gear is if you're in neutral, it's because you just can't combo off stuff. So when you hit somebody, or you're like, okay, what are we gonna do now? And then on offense and defense, there's quick like decisions you have to make because you can't react to stuff that's happening to you. Even mid dispensers have stuff that you can't react to that makes it hard to defend them, right? But like in a lot of games, like one of my first like advice to people who are newer, I'm like, dude, honestly, you should learn some combos, because just learning combos puts you above like the other beginners, like not dropping combos, and it makes you scarier.
コンボ重視のゲームが増え、駆け引き要素などは下がっていく。わからない人や初心者にはなおさら見ているだけの、やられているだけの状況が増えてしまう。
So there's also another thing you have to keep in mind too. What did he show before? He was showing like Virtual Fighter and like SNK games and ST. So Smash comes out in like 99. Right around now, there's like Marvel Superheroes, Darkstalkers. You're in an age right now. I mean, he's not trolling. Like a lot of the games at the time were like super combo heavy, and like being able to do combos in general give you a really big advantage. But there's not a lot of what we see even in like what we can call old games now, like 2010s games, about how they treat combos compared to here there's games with like ridiculous combos at this point where he's making this. BlazBlue started with really ridiculous combos, and then basically every version of BlazBlue for a while. I think I want to say up until Chrono Phantasma, they did stuff to make combos like less. They're just shorter. They're faster. Certain things scale more. They do all this stuff to make it feel like you're not getting just literally beamed by one combo.
もう一つ、ゲームを考えたのは1996
Even he said this stuff about 96.
年ですが、この頃は格闘ゲームのコマンド入力がやたらと複雑化していた時でもありました。
To be fair to him, fighting games have been going the opposite way. I mean, you might remember, I think this dude took the video down. When Strive came out, this is a very, very funny. If you remember all the discourse about Guilty Gear Strive and how it's not real Guilty Gear or blah, 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 there was one brave soul that said the motion inputs in Strive were too hard and that Dragon Ball was perfect and that's why Strive was going to fail. I don't know if that video is still up, but he had Soul's move list up and he was like, dude, this shit, nobody's trying to do like DPs and shit. Like, I think this point, devs have already caught on to like quite a while ago, I think. There's Grand Blue, there's Dragon Ball. I mean, to be honest, even Strive, they simplified a bunch of the inputs. NRS games, I think a lot of games have addressed this. I want to say starting around like 2010s, fighting games started to address this type of stuff.
パッドの方向プラスボタンでシンプルに直感的に操作できるものを目指しました。スマブラといえば、任天堂のさまざまなキャラクターが出ることが売りの一つですが、これは企画書上には書いておらず、後から交渉することになります。
Yeah, I'm glad. I bet they're glad they got that. Do you think the game would have popped off if it was like Dragon King or whatever?
難しい点の一つに主役がいきなりいっぱいいるという要素があります。例えばゼルダの伝説ならリンクという主人公がいて、その他のサブキャラクターや敵がいる。
That's an interesting way of looking at the cast. I never, for example, when I look at the Guilty Gear cast, I'm like, Soul is that guy. He is the baddest guy. He is that guy. Then there's Kyle, and then there's the rest. Is there a fighting game where I think there are many main characters? I feel like this is an existential question. Like, okay, you know what? You know how I connect this though? I don't know why this is the connecting thing. I have a thing of basically the only fighting games that'll come out now that will be big are games that are legacy franchises or games based off IPs. Like, we're not gonna get another Arcana Heart. We're not, or not even another, a game like that, which is a brand new IP with new characters and stuff. Even if you see a cast of 12 new characters, right? You look at them, you're like, well, this person has a moveset like Ryu, kinda, and this person has a moveset like Ken, kinda, so they're probably important. Where if you've never played any fighting game and you see that, you might unironically be like, alright, whatever, like, I don't know, like, who the fuck are these people?
任天堂の人気キャラクターをお借りすることになりました。この最初のイメージには結局最後まで悩まされることになります。
I think most people would glaze past this next point or will think one specific thing, but when I read this, I read something else, right?
従来の格闘ゲームが頭に染みついている人にも浸透が難しかったです。駆け引きの種類が全く違うので偏見をなかなか拭えません。
What does that sound like to you? Boomers. I'm glad you could say it in one word. I had like a whole like thing I was gonna say. Boomer, you're spitting. It's the new game problem. It's the new game problem. The old game good, new game bad problem. Even for this, right?
好きなところだけ好きなように遊ぶという方針は初代にしてある程度確立できていると思います。
There's a lot of context on it that I think, like, again, games are supposed to be about, like, fun. So if we don't find fighting games fun, I'm never gonna be like, oh, like, why can't you understand my fun, you know? But I feel like you need to say that you just don't want to do the things like this guy down here, our homie down here. Anytime people use the Smash example, I'm like, oh, you just want to mash it, and it's fine. It's fine. I'm never gonna fault anyone like that. That's why we need more games like MK's SF6 that have single player stuff for people to do like RPG stuff. I feel like, but again, I think any reason you have to not play is totally valid. Like I'm not gonna pull up to you with like a gun to your head and be like, you have to play a fighting game now. Learn these fucking combos now. Learn the set play now. Who gives a fuck if you don't know what set play is, bro? The way you get more people besides single player mode is you have to rebrand fighting games as RPGs. The only difference is that you can't see what level you are in the game because it's you. It's you. The video ended up being a pretty good video, actually. Pretty good. I'm a fan.